You won't believe what a Brazilian marine biologist just uncovered. The Megalodon, one of history's largest vertebrate predators, is believed to have gone extinct millions of years ago. Yet, some think these giant creatures still roam the Earth's oceans, unseen by humans. From a recent sighting in Brazil to mysterious sonar detections, here are 20 frightening shark sightings that might just be Megalodon. Number 20. Davidstads Retelling. One of the most widely known sightings of the Megalodon was retold by Australian naturalist Davidstad. According to him, in 1918, crayfishmen at Port Stephens vehemently refused to go out to sea. At first, the men didn't reveal the reason why they didn't want to go to their regular fishing grounds around Broughton Island, but later on, they revealed the horrifying reason. They saw a monstrous sea creature lurking near the area. They claimed to have a close encounter with a massive shark more than 100 feet in size. The creature, luckily, did not take an interest in them but instead snatched the 3-foot crayfish pots, which were each filled to the brim with a day's catch. The men were floored by the sheer size of the shark, which they claimed to be a monster of unbelievable proportions. Because their livelihood comes from the ocean, they were familiar with all sorts of marine creatures, including whales and sharks, but according to them, the creature they saw was unlike anything they had seen before. Local fisheries around the vicinity refused to believe what the men saw, but the possibility of a large shark unsettled many fishermen. The creature was spotted several more times by other locals, and the most interesting thing is that all the witnesses agreed that the giant fish was ghostly white. We've never confirmed whether the crayfishmen really saw Megalodon near Broughton Island, but with the size of the beast they saw, there is a possibility that they truly spotted one. Number 19. Coast Guard footage. In 2012, the Brazilian Coast Guard was performing a daring rescue in choppy waves when they captured something incredible. It's unknown if they meant to, but you can see the enormous outline of a sea creature much larger than anything we know to exist. I mean, whales are pretty big, but this was on a whole different level. Was it a Megalodon? Well, it very well could be, and that's what some experts are thinking given the series of events we've been experiencing in recent years. For example, after the 9.2 seaquake that struck the Indian Ocean, giving rise to a tsunami that killed over 230,000 people, the sea topography changed, and sea life was made to find new territories to inhabit. In 2011, Japan's 9.0 earthquake and tsunami changed the coastline forever. Ever since then, random sea life has been appearing in local waters that have never been seen before. Then there was the 2012 Hurricane Sandy that hit the mid-Atlantic. This superstorm reshaped coastlines and shifted the ocean currents. It also resulted in maritime animals venturing into new territories. We've also experienced the 2 hottest decades in about 400 years, making experts think this is all connected. Rare species are washing up on our shores, so has the prehistoric Megalodon been pushed out of hiding? We've seen whales wash up without tails and whales being attacked by unknown sea creatures. The Megalodon could be making its way to our shores. Number 18. Shark swims by ship off New England coast. At first glance, people aboard a ship off the coast of New England probably thought they had seen a Megalodon. It was an absolutely massive shark, and even people a great distance away could see it in the water without any issues. And while it definitely could have been a Megalodon, in this case it wasn't. It was a basking shark. But to be fair, that's not all that much less impressive. Basking sharks are the second largest fish and shark in the world, only losing the top spot to the whale shark. They are also one of just 3 plankton-eating sharks, which is good news if you have feared for your life. They have gray-brown mottled skin, a caudal fin with a lateral keel and crescent shaping, and they can reach lengths of up to 26 feet. Even though they're incredibly massive and look pretty threatening, they are gentle giants. They are not known to be aggressive, nor are they harmful to humans, although we're pretty harmful to them. If you ask me, they've been used as a source of food for us, and people also catch them for animal feed, their fins and shark liver oil. Our overexploitation has resulted in significantly reduced populations. Their conservation status is listed as endangered. Number 17. Boat attack. Millions of years ago, Megalodons weren't picky about their habitat. They preferred to live in warmer waters, but they were distributed all around the world. They were known to have the nasty habit of ambushing their prey from below or behind, a feat they easily accomplished with their fast swimming ability and their enormous jaws. Another way they caught their prey off guard was by ramming them. Sounds like Megalodons were the real bullies of the ocean, and if they were alive today, they would have probably sunk many ships. Now, let's take a look at this clip captured on a charter boat in 2013 off the coast of South Africa. As the people on the boat were engaged in night fishing, something strange happened. After a failed attempt at reeling in what they thought was a huge fish, something hit the boat from behind. A few seconds later, an unknown creature rammed the boat again, causing it to capsize. Many people believe that the monster responsible for capsizing the boat was a megalodon. Number 16. Unexplored Territory. Most fish are cold-blooded, so their body temperature is primarily regulated by their environment. However, it's largely believed that, just like the great white sharks today, the megalodon was partially warm-blooded. As it swam, its body could generate heat to stay warm, allowing the beast to swim in colder waters. Now, you probably already know about this, but more than 80% of the ocean remains unexplored. We've been living on Earth for more than 100,000 years, and yet the ocean is the one thing we still can't manage to fully study. After all, the ocean is just as, or even more, terrifying than outer space. The ocean is filled with horrifying creatures, and as you go deeper, the scarier they get. The pressure at the bottom of the ocean is also 1,000 times more than what you feel at the surface. For comparison, just imagine yourself being pushed from all directions by the weight of 50 jumbo jets. Even if we somehow manage to find a way to survive the crushing pressure of the deep ocean, being in the dark abyss is like a one-way ticket to death. Many giant creatures are known to reside thousands of feet in the ocean, including whales and giant squid. Many believe that the megalodon lives among them. But how plausible is this theory? Millions of years ago, megalodons hunted near the shore, with large whales being their primary prey. There's no chance that we wouldn't be able to spot a 60-foot monster swallowing whales if the megalodon still hunted in shallow waters like it did millions of years ago. And so, perhaps it learned to evolve and withstand the pressure and darkness thousands of feet in the ocean. Sperm whales are known to be capable of diving between 3,000 to 10,000 feet underwater, and so it's possible that the megalodon learned to hide from humans and hunt quietly in the abyss. Number 15. Black Demon. The enduring tale of the Black Demon in Mexico is said to be one of the pieces of evidence that the megalodon still exists. The tale dates back to the 1560s when seafarers traversed the coast of the Yucatan Peninsula and claimed that they had seen a massive carnivorous fish swimming underneath ships and boats. Many sightings have also been reported in both the Pacific and Caribbean Oceans around Mexico. It was said that the creature was a black demon shark that had a penchant for overturning boats, attacking whales, and gobbling up large sea creatures in a single bite. This marine beast could have easily been a great white shark, but there's no way that a great white would have been able to do such feats. After all, adult whales are far more gigantic than great white sharks. Some eyewitnesses claim that the black demon shark was around 50 feet long, and after spreading terror, it quickly retreats deep into the ocean. Many conspiracy theorists and cryptozoologists believe that this black demon shark is none other than the megalodon. Number 14. 42-foot shark approaches Kayaker. Kayakers who venture out into the open ocean are some of the bravest people on Earth. While they're out there in their tiny 14-foot kayaks and canoes, they're putting themselves in the path of some pretty dangerous and massive creatures. It's definitely not just peaceful fish out there, and according to some YouTube footage, there are more than just whales too. One kayaker got the fright of their life when they encountered a massive unidentified creature swimming near them. Some people suggested it could have been a megalodon. The YouTuber who uploaded the footage on Monster Shark TV compared the 14-foot measurements of the kayak to the sea creature, estimating that it could have been 42 feet long. They believed it was a megalodon since they were known to reach lengths of over 40 feet. However, some commenters believe that the sea creature was just a basking shark. They not only reach lengths of over 40 feet, but some can grow over 50 feet. Basking sharks are also harmless to humans, which is probably why this kayaker made it home alive. If it were a fierce shark species that loved a good taste testing session, like a great white or a megalodon, that might not have been the case. Number 13. Unknown shark. In 2018, this footage of an underwater deep-sea shark sighting reemerged online. The clip was claimed to have been captured by a submersible deep in the ocean, and it shows what appears to be a massive shark. The creature is unlike any we usually see in the shallower parts of the ocean, and it led to a long-standing debate. Do megalodons still exist, and have they been living in the deepest part of our oceans? Great whites are known to be capable of swimming more than 3,000 feet deep in the water, but the shark in the footage is far too big to be one. Its eyes, color, and body shape are also incredibly different from that of a great white. You can see that the creature is extremely massive, and comparing the size of the cage to the shark led many to believe that it's more than 30 feet long, still a dwarf compared to the megalodon, but larger than great whites. Others propose that perhaps this is a rare sleeper shark, an elusive but massive creature that spends its life sluggishly swimming at the bottom of the ocean. Regardless of what it is, we can all agree that this shark is a big one. Number 12. Megalodon Teeth. If there's one thing that makes the megalodon distinct from other marine predators aside from its size, it's its teeth. In fact, the word megalodon is derived from the Greek, which means giant tooth. Just like the sharks we see today, The Megalodon didn't have bones, and so most of the evidence we have of this creature's existence is teeth. Many teeth. This is also why it's hard to see a complete Megalodon fossil, and we have more fossil records of their teeth and poop than anything else. This creature is known to have the largest teeth of any shark that ever lived, and they had about 300 teeth. A single tooth can be more than 5 inches long and more than 4 inches wide. A single tooth was so large that some people even mistook it for being the tooth of a dragon. Megalodon tooth fossils have been found across the globe, but a pair of teeth turned out to be different from the others. In 1875, the British survey ship HMS Challenger discovered a pair of large teeth while dredging a seabed near Tahiti. The researchers were certain that the pair did not belong to any other shark. After all, only one creature had teeth as big as the ones they had discovered. After examining them, researchers concluded that they date back as recently as 10,000 to 15,000 years ago, contradicting the accepted fact that the giant creature went extinct more than 2 million years ago. 10,000 years is a far cry from 2 million. If this is true, this would mean that the Megalodon managed to live up to 10,000 years ago undetected. Number 11. 62-foot-long creature. You might think that scientists, government officials, and marine experts would be the people to spot anything abnormal in the ocean, but it was actually a young kid in Chile who spotted something he believed wasn't normal. First of all, it's important to know that various parts of the ocean are monitored. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of underwater cameras placed by scientists and the government at various depths. Many of these are at oil rigs and scientific sites, and anyone can tune into live feeds of them. The young boy from Chile was monitoring a feed when he spotted something in the background, the shadow of a large animal and a very distinctive fin. Experts were intrigued. They prefaced by saying there's no evidence to suggest the Megalodon is still in our ocean, but the fin they saw in the footage was absolutely huge. They synchronized the video frames to determine the length of the body parts that they could see, and their calculations suggested the creature was at least 62 feet long. Now, that could only be a Megalodon, right? And those same experts who say it doesn't exist are starting to wonder whether it does after all. It was only a century ago that a Megalodon tooth was found and carbon dated to just 10,000 years ago. We thought they went extinct millions of years ago. Number 10. Meg in the Mariana Trench. Meg sounds like a sweet name until you learn that it belongs to a 60-foot creature capable of crushing your car in just one bite. In the book by Steve Alton, Meg, or the Megalodon shark, was said to be residing in the deepest part of the Pacific Ocean, the Mariana Trench. It's the deepest location on Earth, with a depth of more than 36,000 feet. If Mount Everest was placed at the bottom of the Mariana Trench, you would still need to swim about 7,000 feet just to see its summit. With that being said, it doesn't sound too impossible for a 60-foot creature to be hiding in the trench, don't you think? Number 9. Great Barrier Reef sighting. Among the countless sightings of the Megalodon, one thing remains consistent: its inclination to cause trouble for seafarers. In the 1960s, an 85-foot-long ship was sailing along the outer edge of Australia's Great Barrier Reef when its engines suddenly failed. The crew was forced to weigh anchor until the vessel was fully repaired. But while they were stuck on the Great Barrier Reef, they saw something they had never dreamed of. In fear of being ridiculed and doubted, the crew kept what they had seen to themselves until the captain of the ship broke his silence and revealed that they had seen a shark so massive that it was almost as long as their ship. As people of the sea, they were knowledgeable of the sea creatures that frequently appeared in the middle of the ocean, and the people on board were certain that they didn't see a giant whale, but instead, a giant carnivorous shark. Number 8. Megalodon spotted on Google Earth. We have discovered a lot of things with the help of Google Earth and Google Maps, and among them is a Megalodon swimming in the ocean. At first glance, this marine creature indeed looks like a behemoth, but without zooming out the photo, it's quite impossible to tell its exact size. But it's quite certain that this animal is over 40 feet long. Megalodons grew up to a staggering 60 feet, and sometimes they grew even larger. And while it is the largest carnivorous shark known to have ever lived, a creature today can compete with this behemoth in size. Whale sharks are known to max out at 60 feet in size. This creature is almost comparable to the Megalodon without the bloodthirst. It was never confirmed whether this photo shows the gargantuan hunters or the gentle giants that live today. However, the very thought of a possible Megalodon lurking in the depths of our oceans sends shivers down the spine. The mysterious image captured on Google Earth has sparked endless debates among marine enthusiasts and conspiracy theorists alike. Whether it's a relic from the past or a colossal whale shark, one thing is certain: the ocean holds secrets that continue to astonish us. This discovery serves as a chilling reminder of how little we truly know about the vast, unexplored waters that cover our planet. Number 7. Leftovers. The megalodons were voracious eaters and apex predators. They were so big and powerful that their favorite snack is one of the largest marine animals we know today, whales. If there's one thing that they couldn't resist, it was to devour any creature in their way. If these creatures are still alive to this day, one way to tell would be to observe their prey, which led us to a gruesome discovery. In 2009, a father and son fishing in Hawaii stumbled upon a horrific sight, a huge beached whale. Seeing whale carcasses on the shore is normal. What's not is seeing it almost bitten in half. It appears that the creature was bitten by something incredibly massive, a creature with a bite so powerful that it cleanly chomped away the entire tail of the whale. So far, this is the only time a whale carcass was found in such a state. Could it be that while swimming underwater, this whale narrowly managed to avoid being swallowed and eaten whole by the megalodon? Number 6. Underwater sighting. It's easier to send people to outer space than send people thousands of feet below the ocean's surface. Until we have the tech to do so, researchers settle on sending remote-operated vehicles deep into the ocean to get a glimpse of the ecosystem in the deep blue. So far, we've seen a lot of strange creatures, including small monstrous fish, giant jellies, and giant squid. It's a known fact that there are still a lot of marine creatures that we aren't aware of. But it's a different story when an underwater camera captures evidence of an animal that was supposed to be long gone from Earth. A deep-sea camera in the Pacific allegedly captured a giant fin of an unknown animal. When researchers analyzed the footage frame by frame to determine its whole size, they came to the conclusion that whatever it is, it's a massive 60-foot behemoth. Even if this creature isn't the megalodon, it's still really scary to think that something that big is lurking in our oceans. Number 5. Whale population decline. Great white sharks today eat approximately 11 tons of food annually. Meanwhile, the megalodon was a voracious predator that consumed over 1 ton of food daily to survive. Aside from whales, which were known to be their favorite, they also ate sharks, including great whites, seals, dolphins, and pretty much every other ocean creature that was smaller than them. To give you an idea of what can fit in their mouth, it could easily swallow 2 adult humans standing side by side. They were apex predators with all the abilities of a great hunter. When whale populations mysteriously started to decrease in Hawaii, some people became inclined to believe that the culprit was none other than the megalodon, stealthily snatching dwarf whales and pulling them deep into the ocean before devouring them. Doesn't this make you wonder how such a powerful creature went extinct and is now rumored to be forced to live in the abyss? According to researchers, these mega sharks most likely suffered greatly as our planet entered a phase of global cooling. These behemoths were known to be fearless predators, but there was nothing they could do with the changing temperature of their habitat. Because of the drastic change in temperature, the megalodon, along with almost 40% of turtles and 35% of birds, became extinct. Many parts of the world also dried up, which slowly caused them to be driven to extinction. Number 4. Dangerous shark, megalodon caught on camera. What would you do if a shark like this came swimming toward you with all those sharp-looking teeth and those angry-looking eyes? Would you stop and wait to see if it was a megalodon or a great white, or would you get the hell out of Dodge? I'd do the latter. There's no way I'd be hanging around to find out. But to be fair, even though this footage is called Dangerous Shark, Megalodon Caught on Camera, it does look like it's a great white. They have large conical snouts, a white underside, a gray dorsal area, and many, many rows of serrated teeth. These are all positioned behind their primary teeth and are ready to go if any of the front ones should break off. When they use these teeth, they shake their heads from side to side in a type of swaying motion to help them rip off flesh. You might also notice that they have large eyes compared to other shark species, and their irises are a deep blue rather than black. To be honest, though, most of us aren't going to be staring at their eyes or noting what color they are if we were to encounter one in the ocean. Number 3. Megalodon caught on camera by shark cage. Shark cage diving is a thrilling activity for people who want to observe sharks up close and personal without ending up as their lunch. People get all geared up in their diving gear, hop inside the cage, and get lowered down into the ocean in parts where sharks are known to live. You expect to see great white sharks, but did someone see a megalodon instead? It sure looks like it if this footage is anything to go by. While many people say it's fake, and it very well could be, you can see crystal clear footage of someone inside a shark cage, only for an absolutely massive shark to appear. It doesn't engage with the diver, nor does it give the cage a second look. Instead, it just swims on by, almost like it was initially curious but then thought better of it. I mean, who wants to break their teeth on metal? Megalodons might be fierce, but they're not stupid. It's never easy to know whether the footage is real, especially when we have such excellent CGI. But if this is real, it's terrifying to think that the Megalodon really could be lurking in our oceans. Number 2. Encounter of Zay Gray. A novelist and a deep-sea angler, the encounter of Zay Gray is one of the most popular and accepted accounts of the Megalodon. In his book Tales of Tahitian Waters, published in 1931, he claimed that he witnessed a man-eating monster in the South Pacific that was much longer than a 40-foot boat. He saw the massive beast while sailing off the French Polynesian island of Rangiroa around the late 1920s. In 1933, Gray's son, Loren, backed up his father's accounts and claimed to have seen a massive shark approximately 100 miles northwest of Rangiroa while sailing on the SS Manganui. Just like his father, he claimed that the creature, which they insisted was a shark, was a massive 40 to 50-foot long giant with a large brown tail. Loren first thought that the creature was just a giant whale, but upon seeing the entirety of it, he claimed that it was unlike any other whale he had seen before. The tales of Zay Gray and his son have since become part of the legend surrounding the elusive Megalodon, fueling speculation about whether this prehistoric predator might still roam the deep oceans. Their detailed descriptions and shared experiences have led some to believe that these were not just tall tales, but genuine encounters with a creature that defies modern understanding. Despite the skepticism of scientists, these stories continue to capture the imagination of those fascinated by the mysteries of the deep. Could there still be a living Megalodon lurking in the unexplored corners of the ocean, or were the Greys simply mistaken in their identification of an enormous, but known marine animal? Now it's time for today's topic. Why does no one really know how the last Megalodon died? Until a few days ago, no one knew the reason for the disappearance of this creature. But everything changed when a marine biologist made an astonishing discovery off the coast of Brazil in the Atlantic Ocean. The renowned marine biologist was studying ancient Megalodon teeth, trying to determine their origin. After several analyses, he discovered that they all came from a specific area near the Brazilian coast. Driven by curiosity, he headed to this region with a specially designed submersible for seabed analysis. After hours of navigation, he reached the area where the teeth originated. He turned on the cameras and began recording, but saw nothing unusual. Time passed, and as his oxygen supply dwindled, he was forced to return to the surface. However, before leaving, he set a trap, attaching a seal as bait and an underwater drone camera to a buoyant device, hoping to capture something extraordinary. What the camera recorded later was beyond anyone's imagination. The footage showed an enormous shark, apparently more than 60 feet in length, emerging from the depths to devour the seal in one swift motion. The size of the creature was mind-boggling, suggesting that something much larger and far more dangerous might still be lurking in the ocean's depths. The footage was recovered and shared online, sparking widespread fascination and fear. Could this be a surviving Megalodon, or something even more terrifying? The discovery has left the scientific community and the world questioning what truly lies beneath the waves. Number 1. Shark sonar. One of the most useful inventions we have today is sonar. Who would have known that sound can be used to examine the bottom of the ocean? The depths of the ocean can be measured by sonar, which stands for sound navigation and ranging. Sound waves are sent out by the device, and the time it takes for the echo to return is measured. Through this, the depth of the water can be measured easily. It's also used in the fishing industry. Through this device, fishermen can easily detect if fish are directly under the vessel. With the use of ultrasonic sound waves, this is also how shark researchers managed to spot a large fish off the New England coast. The sonar image showed what appeared to be a bullet-shaped sea creature with a big fin. The creature was estimated to be about 50 feet long and about a whopping 40 tons. However, the huge fish disappeared before researchers could do something, and it was never seen again. If megalodons truly still exist to this day, then I guess we have a lot more reasons not to venture further into the abyss of the ocean. Do you think it's possible that this leviathan of the deep still lives to this day? Or do you think we're far better off without these apex predators in our oceans? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Also, check out our other cool stuff showing up on the screen right now, and I'll see you in the next video.